discussing my Forspoken performance concerns. We have the Forspoken PC requirements are now out in the wild, and it's concerning, especially after the demo reports. I'm going to put all the good information right here at the beginning of the video. We have things from theverge.com. We even have some observations from PC Gamer that this just doesn't make sense, even with the different video cards that they're recommending. So I try to put all the good information at the beginning of the video so you don't have to go looking for it. It's a longer video because it is a live stream, and that's why the video is so long, because I discuss it with a live audience. If you like that kind of content, hit subscribe and the bell button, hit the like button. I'm going to end the member stream and bring everybody over from the member stream, and then we're going to jump right in here to my sort of opening open monologue. So why is this a concern? Why are we seeing Forspoken system requirements, Forspoken PC requirements kind of questioned and even criticized? Like, what exactly is the deal? Now, we recently covered the Hogwarts PC requirements. I still have low-level concerns there, but I had some more educated, smarter people tell me it actually seems like Hogwarts is well optimized. Those same people looked at the Forspoken PC requirements and said, oh my gosh, what is going on with this game? And then PC Gamer and other outlets have also weighed in, okay? Upon multiple outlets looking at this, upon analysis from my own community members, this sounds very worrying. So we are now hearing from theverge.com. They actually have their actual title to their article is, you might need a new PC to play Forspoken properly. And I don't think they're exaggerating. I don't feel like that's like hyperbolic, like clickbait. It's true. You're probably going to need new stuff, new hardware, right? And as far as a Forspoken review goes, I'll try to give you mine when the game comes out. I'll play it as much as I can. The minimum spec requirements, minimum, is 16 gig of RAM, 115 gig hard drive space, and you're only going to get 720 resolution and 30 frames per second. So a decent, considerably reasonably strong PC is going to get you old gen performance on PC, 720 30. Now, that's minimum requirement, so somebody might say, no big deal, that's like the weakest possible system that could play the game, right? It gets worse when you look at the recommended specs. The recommended spec is 24 gig of RAM, an RTX 3070 or better. So you need a 3070 card or better for recommended, and that's 24 gig of RAM. And here's what you get. You get 1440 resolution and 30 FPS. So you get 30 FPS, and they're recommending 24 gig of RAM and a 3070 or better. Now, you might be hearing this and you're thinking, I'm going to play it on the PlayStation 5. I don't know all this tech mumbo-jumbo. I don't care. I don't know what all these stats are, okay? This is worrisome, and it gets even more worrisome when you look at the 4K resolution requirements on PC. 4K 60, they're suggesting an RX 6800 XT or an RTX 4080. And this is when PC Gamer got a little confused, and they had the following to say. For the full 4K 60 experience, make that AMD RX 6800 XT or NVIDIA RTX 4080. And they say that's a rather odd equivalence because those GPUs are not equivalent. Now, I got that tip from Wheezy, one of our community members. He sent me that screenshot right before I went live. And his theory, and the theory of others, is that's a weaker AMD card, which means this game is likely more optimized for AMD hardware, and it's going to run poor on NVIDIA hardware, which is concerning because now you're going to have a very lopsided experience in this game depending on what sort of a rig that you play on, and then it's also pretty concerning for the consoles. Now, obviously, it's a one-year exclusive for the PS5, and it'll come to other consoles later. So this is concerning for a variety of reasons. Like, according to Digital Foundry, the demo performance mode, quote, frequently dropped frames during traversal and is very often sub 60 FPS during battles, with the readings around 40 FPS at worst. Now, I don't know if you've watched any Forspoken gameplay, but the traversal and the combat are a centerpiece to the game, and that's where all of the frame dropping is happening. They said that the ray tracing mode was a solid 30 FPS, but it even dropped below 30 FPS in battles. So you can't even maintain 30 FPS for your fidelity mode, which is pretty common these days to at least be able to do that, because 30 is just such a low level frames per second threshold. The memory floor in games continues to be worrying for console users. Much of the dialogue around Forspoken leading up to it made it sound as if it was built for the PS5. In fact, one of our community members, Paul, was like, look at this blog. It says, quote, designed for the PlayStation 5 console. I don't know how anybody could say that. I don't know how anybody could say it was designed for the PS5 looking at the technical requirements far exceeding what the PS5 can do, which was resulting in very poor performance on the PS5, inconsistent performance in the demo. Now, I'll grant them the possibility that there's like a day one, week one patch for PlayStation 5 that helps with this, okay? Digital Foundry made allowances for that. They're like, it's common in demos and trials for there to be performance issues like this. But then when you look at the requirements on PC, you start to think maybe there's something else going on here. It sounds way more like they built this game for PC and they got way too caught up in particle effects and making everything look pretty. If you're familiar with my coverage, we broke down some of this gameplay when it first came out. And if you remember, we did some freeze frame analysis, and a lot of the particle effects and explosions, they're pixelated. They look like Tetris pieces. It's almost like they lower the resolution of all the particle effects to even pull this off, which makes perfectly good sense now why they're doing that. I think they overshot. I think they went way, way too far with this game. So what does this mean going forward? Okay, because obviously this is going to look poorly on the PS5. This is not a Sony first-party exclusive, but many people are associating this game with the PlayStation because of the one-year exclusivity deal. So one of the first things I want to say about what this means going forward, I would wait to buy this game. I would wait to buy it on PC. I would wait to buy it on PS5. Given the demo's performance and these requirements, these PC requirements, I would wait. I would see if there's a day one, week one patch, or maybe something they can do in the first month for optimization. I don't think it's going to run that much better than it did in the demo. We saw High on Life fix stuttering issues day one, so there could be optimization in the final code. Digital Foundry kept giving allowance for this. They said this is common in their testing, so I'll give allowances there, but that again is a perfectly good reason why you should wait to buy this. Okay? Given optimization struggles of games lately, it makes sense to wait on this title. I would look for a Forspoken review, either from me or somebody else who got their hands on the game day one. The second thing this could mean is this could be cause for concern for next-gen console owners. If you own an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, I'll get to the Series S in a moment, but if you own a next-gen console, we've already established in previous coverage that the floor of minimum specs will start going up. We know this will happen. It always does. The devs love to push things as far as possible, and multiple platform titles like this, multi-plat titles that are going to land everywhere. I know it's on a one-year exclusivity, but it's basically a multi-plat title, Forspoken. This title, targeting big fidelity, could fall into the trap of just overstretching what these consoles can do, and we're only 2 years into the life cycle. This is not a first-party Sony title, but performance issues will reflect poorly on the PS5, given all the marketing was spearheaded by Sony. When it finally lands on the Xbox, I'm curious to see what the Series S performance will be, given that the memory requirement for PC is so high, and that's the technical bottleneck for the Xbox Series S. Low memory. If this is any hint of the trajectory going forward, a mid-gen console upgrade that we're anticipating getting, they better have more memory. I'm not kidding you. That's something that came to me like a lightning bolt when I was typing up this show open, this monologue. I thought, well, that means if there's a mid-gen upgrade, if we get a PS5 Pro or an Xbox Series X Pro, we're going to need more memory. Because based on things we've seen recently, even based on some games getting ported to PC like Returnal, memory is where things are going. Like, we need more. And that would be an enormous concern for the Xbox Series S, given its high saturation. There's more of them in circulation than there are of the Xbox Series X, and it has a significantly amount of less memory than the other consoles. The last thing I think this does is I think this makes first-party developed titles all the more important. All of your first-party titles for consoles like Starfield coming out for the Xbox Series X and S, and Spider-Man 2 coming out for the PlayStation 5. these titles are even more important than ever. If third-party multi-plat games keep coming out and they keep struggling with optimization, like if Forspoken struggles, we had Plague Tale Requiem, we had Gotham Knights. If this continues, then first-party games can really shine. If you're only developing for one set of hardware, we have commentary from developers. That makes development a whole lot more easy, and it ensures they can get the maximum performance out of the consoles. And we've seen great things from games like Returnal, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Forza Horizon 5, even God of War Ragnarok. All these games were beautiful and got very good performance on their respective consoles. This will further my argument that first-party exclusives are actually good for the market and good for the consumer. It's good for you to have good first-party titles out there that can outshine these multi-plat titles that get lost in the fray, that get lost in making things amazing. It's far better, I think, to have really, really strong titles landing on first party at this point. It puts pressure on both Xbox and Sony to establish high quality and performance standards for their first party titles. It also puts pressure on Xbox and Sony to actually give us good substantive upgrades if they do a mid-gen upgrade like a PS5 Pro. It continues to make me worry about the Xbox Series S with its saturation. We're so early in this generation's life cycle, and we're already seeing a trend of the memory floor going up, seemingly at a rapid rate. Now, I don't think Forspoken is indicative of an industry standard, but we are starting to see memory floors go up. This game, for all intents and purposes, for everything that we can feel and measure and speculate on, Forspoken seems to be a poorly optimized game. Based on the demo, based on Digital Foundry's findings, and based on the very, very peculiar PC requirements. So, time will tell if any Forspoken review really gives it a pass on these things. We'll make sure and cover that here. I want to discuss it now with a live audience, both over here on the TikTok platform. Thank you guys so much. Already 2,000 likes over here, and over on YouTube, almost 300 people, and we're nearing our first 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. We are streaming live on YouTube at Reforge Gaming if you prefer to watch on YouTube. And I want to know what you guys think about this. Like, what do you think about some of my predictions about memory floors? And thank you for sending a rose, Kill You. You know, we got and for sending a flame. We got memory floors. We got the problem of, like, does this make first party titles more important? It's 2 years. Forspoken's PlayStation exclusivity deal. Oh, it's a 2-year exclusivity deal. Thank you for setting 4 fires. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, it's a 2-year exclusivity deal. So, I mean, so Paul and I were kind of getting in the middle. We were starting a debate before I went live over here. And his contention is this thing was designed for the PlayStation 5. And that's what the press release says. The press release literally states designed for the PlayStation 5 console. I don't know how they can state that and then trot out this level of PC requirement. I don't know how they can state that and then have really bad performance in the game. Like, barely able to maintain 60, not even maintaining good resolution. What'd you say, Paul? It averages like 900 resolution because the resolution's set to dynamic. Like, I see no evidence that this was designed for the PlayStation 5. Because it even says, designed for the PlayStation 5 console, Forspoken will harness the full power of the console. How? Like, as I said, if you tell me you designed a poster for my living room and it's 10 feet too tall, I'm going to conclude that you didn't do that. You the best man celebrating 2 years on the gaming channel in 2 days, I believe. Yo, Kill You, thank you so much for that amazing, amazing support. This makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. The whole thing seems bizarre. It seems so bizarre. And I would be questioning why Sony is okay with this. Like, you paid for a 2-year exclusive for a game that's going to run at like an average of 900 resolution and not even average and not even maintain a full 60 FPS. That's in performance mode, by the way. Demos are basically the final product now. Yeah, I don't think, listen, when they let us run around in this demo like this, I don't think we were playing anything remotely super duper old. I think we were playing something extremely close to the final product. And you want to know why? It's really easy to make my argument that when you played the Forspoken demo, you were basically playing the launch product. They've already done updates in relation to feedback from the demo. That means you're not playing some super old build of Forspoken. You're playing a very recent build. They literally tweeted a bunch of changes and updates that they did to this game based on demo feedback. That means that the demo version is extremely close to the version that's shipping. Demos are not the final product? Okay, go check their Twitter feed then. If they're not the final product, then why is the demo already giving them enough feedback to make changes before it comes out? The demo is essentially the final product. They might as well have launched the game early, homie. They're already doing patches. They're basically building their day one patch off of demo feedback. That means you're not playing some ancient build. It's technically a beta. I mean, I wouldn't even say that. I would consider it early access. I wouldn't even consider this a demo. I would consider it early access because go check their Twitter feed. They're literally patching the game based off of feedback from the demo. That means that the Forspoken demo is essentially early access to the game. Like, it's not the full game. The only reason it's not the only reason you could call it a demo is because it's a slice of the game and not the full game. Transmissions from a spaceboat hits 13-month milestone. Maybe Sony is just keeping a tight ship. I don't know. A tight grip on Square Enix. I have no idea if that's it. We're talking about Forspoken and the PC requirements. They are bonkers high, and it seems like it was optimized for AMD hardware and chipsets because it's going to require significantly stronger NVIDIA hardware to run it. Does little Jimmy or his mommy know the difference between 30 and 60? That's superfluous to the discussion. That's superfluous to the discussion. It doesn't matter if people can't detect it. That doesn't matter at all. That would be like saying, oh, we launched this Blu-ray and it's not performing very well and it's not hitting high resolutions for Blu-ray players and 4K televisions. Well, most consumers won't notice. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're selling a product that is woefully behind what was promised this generation. Gamers are expecting too much from consoles. Be happy with nice graphics and 30 FPS. I swear to frick, you're a walking meme at this point. Like the things that you say. I want to frame that and put that on a shirt. I literally want to frame that and put that on a shirt. Gamers are expecting too much from consoles. Be happy with nice graphics and 30 FPS. Yeah, I got nice graphics and 30 FPS 10 years ago. If you're happy with a decade-old standard of performance, that's your choice. I didn't buy a PlayStation 5 and a Series X to get that level of performance, and I haven't gotten that performance on my PlayStation 5. Returnal, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, the Demon's Souls remake, The Last of Us Part 1 remake, God of War Ragnarok, the Ghost of Tsushima free update, God of War 2018 free update, Horizon Forbidden West, even Forza Horizon 5. I mean, look at its performance. I'm on Team Todd Howard, best graphics at 30. I'm not on your team, and the industry's moving away from that. I've seen more and more streams. I've seen more and more clips. I've seen more and more updates and videos put out by people that are like, absolutely not. 30 FPS is old school. 30 FPS is old gen. Quit kidding yourself. Quit kidding yourself. I can tell the difference from 30 to 60. Now they're trying to optimize and it's causing problems. I had nice graphics. I had nice graphics in 60 FPS on the PS2. Yeah, depending on the game. Depending on the game, we had good graphics in 60 FPS in games like Titanfall 2 back in the day. I want every detail I can get in a game. I want more action on the screen. Keep them at 30 FPS. Yeah, here's the problem with saying I want every detail you can get on the screen and then asking for 30 FPS. It literally adds rendering latency and blurriness, so you're actually working against what you're claiming that you value. Like, saying that you want every detail on the screen and you want everything that they could possibly do and then watching it in 30 FPS, it literally creates rendering latency and blurriness. Like, what the frick are you talking about? You don't even see all the pretty things that you think that you see. It looks like a blurry mess. It looks like a muddled mess. Right now, take any game where you can do that and then move around quickly and you'll see what I'm talking about. It literally corrupts the very thing it's trying to do. Like, Here's you know, high fidelity graphics, ray tracing, and all this beautiful stuff, and then it's blurry. It's weird. Games back in the day were mostly 60. Then they went 2030. Now they're trying to go back to 60. 60 is the minimum we should have now. I agree with that, just in time. I agree with you. And we actually didn't have mostly 60 games back in the day. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The standard on the previous generation was 30. I didn't play very many games at 60. 60 FPS was in the minority on the previous generation. It was. Most games were 30. 1440 30, perfect this gen. I'm glad you're in charge of virtually nothing when it comes to video games, and I have a ton of games that blow that out of the water on my PS5. My PS5 is chuckling at what you're saying. It's literally laughing. It's like 1440 30, tap 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 on the head. Okay, bud. Okay, bud. All the games on my PS5 that run 4K ray tracing 30 FPS are laughing at what you just typed. That's just a ludicrous thing to say. That's ludicrous. I literally feel like you're typing things that are stupid to get a reaction. I don't feel like you're serious. Either that or you don't own a PlayStation 5. I'm seeing a lot of glitches in all the new games. It drives me up the wall. All these pretty effects make the games turn into visual soup. Right, exactly. It just looks like a blurry, muddled mess. It looks gross. I think you're all oversold on 60 FPS when the generation started. I think you're undervaluing the fact that the technology advancements that happened in the last 15 years make you look foolish. Virtually every television in existence has 60 hertz refresh rate at this point. It's been a standard for 15 years. Why can't games get to that level of quality? What's the problem? What's the problem? Why am I expecting that? I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting too much. That would be like buying a Blu-ray player and a 4K television and being like, "You're expecting too much from Blu-ray, man." What do you mean? I bought all this stuff to upgrade those aspects of my entertainment experience. Or 1080 30? Yeah, you're just memeing at this point. You can't be a serious person. You cannot be a serious, educated gamer and say that 1080 30 is fine. You're literally memeing at this point. That you cannot be serious. Yeah, that muted me earlier. Oh, I did? I meant to make it permanent. I have 140 refresh rate TV. 60 isn't asking much. Right? Right? You know what's funny? Let's take what he's saying. That, oh, you guys got your hypes up over 60 FPS. How did I get overhyped and overconfident about 60 FPS when they literally marketed both consoles saying they'd be able to hit 120? Explain that to me. Seriously. Make that make sense to me. Make your position make sense to me. I overhyped myself. They promised 120, and I'm good with half of that. But I overhyped myself. Wouldn't overhyping myself be that they promised a 120, FPS experience, and I expected that in every single dadgum game? Like, that would be overhyping myself. They promised 120, and I'm like, bro, 60's fine with me. Give me 1440 60, and I'm good. Like, I put almost all my games at 1440 60. I feel like it captures better for YouTube. I feel like it's smoother. I don't have any issues. That's not overhype. That's pretty moderate compared to what most people swing for on PC gaming experiences. If you don't mind 1440 30, if you don't mind 30 FPS, that's fine. But don't come at me and other people and act like our expectations are too high. That's just absolutely silly and ludicrous. You're going to be disappointed when the demanding Unreal 5 engine starts hitting consoles? You mean Unreal 5, the game that is spearheaded by Epic, the company that made sure that Unreal 4 and now Unreal 5 can hit 60 FPS on old-gen consoles? Are you talking about that engine? That engine that enabled Epic to create a 60 FPS standard on Fortnite on old-gen. I'm talking PS4 and the Xbox One. Are you talking about that engine? Is that the engine you're talking about? An engine that's very well optimized for that sort of a thing? Seriously? That's what you think? Let me turn alerts on. Let me turn the sub goal on. We hit 29 members earlier. If that hits 50, I'll gift another 5. We only need one more person over here on the TikTok to click that star button to take us to 10, and then I'll set a new goal. Thank you to everybody who's already done that. And smash the like button over here on YouTube. We're having another great stream. Better graphics with more detail is better than frame rate. Better graphics and more detail with 30 FPS actually takes away detail. Objectively speaking, this is a mathematical fact. This is not an opinion. When you up the graphics and the fidelity and the lighting to the point that the game runs at 30 FPS, you lose all that detail as soon as you move around because it gets blurry and it creates rendering. It creates rendering latency. None of those textures and lighting render when you're spinning around. You have to stand still. It's all like behind. It's like a slideshow. That's an objective fact. That's not opinion. That's how it works technically. That's a technical analysis of how it works. It's very clear he's trying to derail. I think so. I said that the other day, Wheezy, and YouTube Lurker took up for him. Him and a couple other people, they show up, and I feel like they instantly try to take things into a route to, like, trigger me and mess with me. I feel like they're the old school hate watchers from, like, the Destiny days. Like, they all came in, and they started saying things, and they started doing things, and I was like, my spidey sense started tingling. I was like, I think y'all found me from the Destiny days, and you're in here trying to be, like, you're trying to trigger me, and you're trying to derail. Paul has something here. The whole target of UE5 is to target 60 FPS on consoles. Unreal Engine 5.1 features scalable Lumen to achieve 60 FPS on consoles. Right there. That literally is why Project LLL switched to Unreal 5. They literally said that. They said the lighting system is why they did it. And that's probably why. The Lumen system helps them achieve 60 FPS because it handles those things better. I didn't notice the difference between 30 and 60 until I got a screen with a higher refresh rate. Now I can spot it instantly. That being said, 4K 60 hurts my eyes. Yeah, 4K 60 is so hard to pull off anyway. You need a super strong rig. Unreal Engine has always been a really great engine. Higher graphics, but running at 30 creates visual tears. Thank you. It's a visual downgrade. Like, it's antithetical to saying that you value graphical fidelity. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Legos are for kids. Triggered. Do we blame devs for not having the norm at 4K 60? No, I don't think you blame devs. No. Look at the hardware limitations. Seriously. Look at the hardware limitations. Really strong PCs struggle to hit 4K 60. 4K 60 is nothing that anybody expected from this generation. I didn't expect 4K 60. In fact, about 6 months ago, I told people, I said, 4K 60 is a pipe dream. What you're most commonly going to get from these next-gen consoles is 144060, 4K 30. I told folks that. I said, listen, more than likely, what you're going to get this generation, more often than not, is 4K 30, 144060. That's what I think is going to be the common breakdown. Because if you want ray tracing and you want all the lighting and you want all the beauty, sure, go for it. And if you want that 4K, sure, go for it. It's dynamic 4K, by the way. It doesn't even stay at 4K. Not really possible. So, 4K, dynamic 4K 30 is going to be far more standard. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about the Forspoken performance concerns based on the Forspoken PC requirements that were released. They're kind of weird. They're kind of contradictory. You can play the game at 4K 60 with a much weaker AMD card than an NVIDIA card, so it seems like they maybe optimized the game fairly heavily for AMD and didn't really do it for NVIDIA. That is worrisome if you are looking for good performance on the PlayStation 5. It is a 2-year exclusive to the PlayStation 5. They actually marketed this in press releases saying that it was made for the PS5, designed to harness the power of the PS5, right? So, it's probably off topic, but how much were those foam squares behind you? Oh, brother, I can't remember. They weren't very expensive. That's just more for looks, honestly. I spent about $1,500 on a studio dampening kit. There's these big, you can't see them, there's these big wood panels. If you come to my YouTube channel, I can switch the camera perspective and show you. Reforge Gaming on YouTube. And the big wood paneling, it's like a professional studio in here. And I spent like $1,500 to have a guy do that for me. He like soundproofs studio recording, like where they build like soundproof rooms to studio record. So he sound dampened my room. So if I snap or clap or yell, there's no echo in here at all. It's a dead room, like a sound deadened room or whatever those terms are. That's more for just looks. These are actually pretty cheap. I bought a bundle of them on Amazon for... It wasn't very expensive. Now, if that's all you can afford, if you put a bunch of those up, they will help. The best thing you can do in a room like this to get rid of echo and to make things sound better, because you can pay for an amazing microphone like I have, but if you don't do that to your room, it's going to have an echo that you'll be able to hear in your recordings and your broadcasts. One of the best things you can do is put a rug on the floor and then stuff on the walls. And it doesn't have to be super expensive like what I did. You can buy this stuff and get Gorilla Tape. It'll keep it on the wall. I need to dampen my room. I play at night. I don't want to wake the girlfriend up. Sound dampening is not necessarily going to do soundproofing. Those are different things. Sound dampening removes echo so that you get a nice crisp sound on a mic. Soundproofing is different. Soundproofing is something you will typically spend way more money on. I had one wall soundproofed. I had drywallers come in and add 5 inches, and it helped. But if you actually want to soundproof a room, you bring ceiling down and walls in by a certain amount with like tons of insulation. That's very expensive. So sound dampening and soundproofing are different things. I don't know why that sounded like a euphemism, probably. In my defense, yesterday, he wasn't being dumb. No, YouTube Lurker, let me tell you something. These guys are experts. I'm telling you, they're experts. I sniffed them out right away, and I just kept my eye on them and didn't say anything because I don't want them to know I'm on to them. But I can tell when they come in and they're like feigning interaction in the conversation, but then they get little jabs and little barbs in, and they start picking at other users. So I had my eyes on them for a couple of days. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to tip them off. I've been doing this for 8 years. I know when someone's coming in and engaging in genuine conversation. Good to see you here on the Tiki Talk. Thank you, Hunting for Life. Thank you so much. We're also on YouTube as well right now. For the record, I complain at everything under 165 FPS. I complain a lot, but I don't think these devs would ship 4K 30 if they knew consumers would revolt. For real. It's really obvious. I don't say crap, but it was really obvious. Yeah. Some of these guys are here just to crapster. Oh, for sure. I could sense it in some of the verbiage that they used and some of the ways that they talked. I was like, these guys are from the Destiny days. I could just tell. I think they found me. Recently, I had a couple people leave comments and say things over on TikTok. They're like, aren't you that guy? And I'm like, yeah. They found me, and they're angry that, I'm still thriving, so they're going to, try and derail what we do. They used to do it when we had Q&A sessions, too. So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. If you're new and you've never been here before, this is what we do. We do daily interactive talk shows about games, and the Forspoken performance concerns that I have are big. Now, something else that I outlined in my show open was I said I think this puts more emphasis on first-party titles, because this is not a first-party title. This is a third-party multi-plat title. It is going to get a 2-year exclusive deal for PlayStation 5, but let's just forget that for a moment. And do you think I'm right that this puts more emphasis on really, really strong first-party titles? Right? Aren't you that one guy? The guy with the hair? That's good. Can someone explain to me the need to rack up alt bans? I like the Hogwarts community so much better. I don't know. Yo, what's good, Raven? Done this in bathrooms. Yep, done this in bathrooms to dampen the sound in bedrooms, etc. Yeah, to limit the echo. I blame Chad. If some troll is the most interesting thing going on, then you all need to step it up. We talking D2? No, we're talking about Forspoken. Forspoken is they have released the Forspoken PC requirements, and they're a little odd. They're a little all over the place, and I think it's a cause for concern for how it's going to run on the PS5. Now, I was already concerned because the Forspoken demo played really, really awkwardly. It didn't feel that smooth. I actually think the combat's like really, really counterintuitive. Yes, we did, Robert. And the performance was kind of shaky. Digital Foundry's breakdown of the Forspoken gameplay was not that good. And people were like, well, it's a demo. As is typical, anytime there's a demo or a beta, everyone's like, it's a demo, it's a beta. It'll be fixed when it launches. And it typically is not. They actually, to their credit, they are patching Forspoken. They are patching it and doing some things before it launches. They've done some things to the demo to make it run better. And that's encouraging. What's not encouraging is on the heels of the Forspoken demo And my experience with Forspoken gameplay is these PC requirements that look weird and really crazy. A $5 tip through Super Chat on YouTube from Jesse. You think that the bad press it would bring releasing at 30 would make them want to do 60 at a baseline. Listen, I got news for you. This is going to sound really, really weird to say. Gotham Knights did us all a favor. Gotham Knights did us all a favor because Gotham Knights showed the world that if you launch without performance, you launch without 60, people are going to take you to the cleaners for that in this day and age. So I think Gotham Knights might have helped us. Battlefield 2042 was the worst. Everyone said it will be better at launch, and it very much was not. Exactly. Another example of a beta that was a big cautionary tale about the release. That's exactly right. What LED lights do you use? It's off topic, but I know I like the background. Okay, so this is a mismatch back here, brother. I got LED up lights. You can look those up. It's literally called up light, like up dog, up lights. They're just LEDs that you point up at your house or a wall. That's what's making the wall blue. Then I have just LED tape lights. Again, you can just look this up. LED tape lights. I put those behind the displays. Then on the ground, that's an LED rope light. Rope lights is a consistent light. LED tape lights, it's like an LED every inch and a half. So there you go. That's how I did all that. It was a pain in the butt. And I'm glad with how good it looks because it was not fun to do. There's very little benefit to doubt or goodwill left. Gamers have gotten burned too many times. That's exactly right. I just want old systems to be left behind. Can't make games current gen developing for old. Yeah, and that's not the case with Forspoken, though. Forspoken wasn't developed for old gen. It was supposedly, according to the press releases, developed for the PS5. What do you need, Mama? Okay. My wife was just checking on me. I was like, what you need, Mama? I'm not losing it. Why would I be losing it talking about lights? Oh my gosh. Okay. Thanks for checking on me. Nice ring. Thank you. It's from Lost. My wife got it for me. People who think things will be better from a beta to launch haven't played games long enough. That's right. That's right, Robert. You just know Quiet Shy is using her giant Crocodile Dundee knife to carve another notch in the side of her desk. That's true. That's true. Quiet Shy says, smash like. Yeah, we've been live for about a half an hour, and there's plenty of people here on YouTube. We could easily have 200 likes. And over there on the TikTok, we have over 3,000 likes. You guys have been going nuts. Thank you so much for doing that and for sharing. Consider clicking that star button. And if you're over here on YouTube, consider clicking the join button or the $sign at the bottom of the chat. That's how you become a member. That supports me directly. It helps us run a live show without any ads. It's because with the best will in the world, gamers think their words will carry weight, but it's their money that matters. Complain and still pre-order and buy the game day one. And then be like, Lono, what? That's right. It's the Series S potatoes' fault. They'll believe it. Blame the scapegoat? I don't think the Series S has anything to do with this. Although if you own a Series S, you should be concerned that more and more games are coming out 2 years into this generation and demanding a ridiculous amount of memory on consoles. I just saw it in one of my feeds that it was about Forspoken, and it said another PC game with ridiculous requirements. Right? It's like, yeah, I told y'all the hardware floor is going to move. The minimum hardware floor is going to move up. And if you're making a multi-platform game and you're tapping into all that power of hardware on a PC, well then, buddy, buckle up. Because those consoles, they're going to have to optimize them for consoles. And you want to try and optimize a game for console when your minimum requirement is 16 gig of RAM on a PC and you got to use less than half of that on a Series S. Frickin' good luck. Good luck. Yo, what's good, Geek to Sneak? Today's the last day for Stadia. Rest in peppers, Stadia. Goodbye, Google Stadia. No one ever knew you at all. We need Elton John to do a remix of Candle in the Wind about Google Stadia. Goodbye, Google Stadia. No one ever knew you at all. And it seemed to me you lived your life like a piece of irrelevant tech. Oh man, I miss my calling as a singer. I really did. I should have. I really should have taken a different route career-wise, but you know, here we are. Here we are. This is what we're doing instead. All nine Stadia players are sad. Reforge Dungeons in chat. Reforge Dungeons in chat. Creature must be posting a dungeon video for me. Oh gosh. Chat is flagging up that it's a 2-year exclusive. Yeah, as soon as I called him out as a deliberate troll, he went quiet. That's exactly right. It's like, oops, I've been caught. $10. $10, my old school troll will be saying stuff on Twitter today. Been silent for weeks, and that's probably why. He's been able to hang out here incognito. He'll probably be tweeting about me today. $5 tip from Jesse through Super Chat. I honestly think pre-ordering is a scam. Gotham Knights, Cyberpunk, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are perfect examples. Thank you for another $5 tip through Super Chat. If you guys are ever picking between Super Chat and gifted members, pick gifted member. If you're on mobile and you can't do gifted member, Super Chats are awesome. If you can do one or the other, though, if they've updated the apps and you can do a Super Chat or a gifted, pick that gifted and pay that forward, because I get the money either way, but I'd rather somebody get a member, right? But if you can't do it, it's totally fine, Jesse. Thank you so much for another $5 Super Chat tip. You guys still around? He'll take like a month break. I wondered why he was really quiet on Twitter lately. I wondered why. I was like, why has this guy been so quiet? Well, I think it might be because he was hanging out here and getting chat engagement and feeling like, oh, I'm a part of things. I'm disrupting things. He usually is clip farming. He tries to trigger me, and then he'll clip it and be like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Which is why I was suspicious of those accounts. Stadia was actually really good. I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about Stadia right now. I don't know if I want to talk about Stadia. Let's not talk about Stadia. Let's talk about Forspoken. Let's talk about Forspoken. Do you guys remember when we looked at the Forspoken gameplay? Do you remember when we looked at that Forspoken gameplay? And it's been years he's been messing with you. Yeah, I mean, whenever Wrath of the Machine came out, whatever year that was, yeah, since then. Yeah, that's exactly who it is. Please enter a name. That's exactly who it is. Whenever we were looking at the Forspoken gameplay back then, do you guys remember when we noticed all that pixelization? It looked like little Tetris pieces. You remember that? And do you remember people telling me that I was being too analytical and I was looking too closely at it? Like, we were breaking down a lot of this gameplay footage, and I was like, man, I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on. You remember that? Like, seems like we were on to something. That's upscaling. Right. It was extremely detectable, though, right, Paul? Like, you can sometimes see it. You can sometimes catch it. But I don't know, man. It seemed like really easy to see in this footage. Lono, is there a way to accept a gifted member on mobile? I missed out the other day. Talus Gaming, you have to click on join and then click on the 3 dots and say that you want to accept gifted members. Or if somebody gifts a member, you should be able to click it in chat. If anybody does it in the next few minutes, try and click on it. Reporter's account, hope it helps. Yeah, I mean, you could... anytime you see somebody doing impersonation like that, that's what you're supposed to do. Forspoken will be this year's Horizon. A ton of nominations. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, no. No. It has way too many things to go up against. As far as action-adventure games, Richard, absolutely not. Star Wars Jedi Survivor will get more nominations than Forspoken. Spider-Man 2 will get more nominations than Forspoken. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will get more nominations than Forspoken. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. If Forspoken gets a couple of nominations, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. I think performance is going to be the least of this game's problems. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think so. Me on my Series S only playing Orange Box. There you go. There you go. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out on YouTube. Really strong turnout for our second talk show of the day. Just make sure you're smashing that thumbs up button. Let's set our sights on 200 likes. Thank you so much over here on the Tiki Talk. Over 3,000 likes. Y'all are crushing it over here. Thank you. Seriously, man, with the hate, yes, it sucks and it has its flaws, but the community was and always will be awesome. Super affordable and great for someone like me who couldn't afford a next gen. Wait, what are you talking about, Bulls for Life? Are you talking about the Series S? No one's hating on the Series S. When I talk about, if you look at the Forspoken PC requirements and you look at the memory requirements and you look at the memory requirements for Hogwarts Legacy and then you look at the memory requirements on PC for Returnal, it's clear as crystal that the technology floor is moving up. And the memory bottleneck that exists on the Series S, it's going to be a problem. If you're going to take Atomic Hearts to town, reveal trailer, you're going to make me drop frames. Why is that image so big? You're going to take Atomic Hearts to town? I'm taking this game to task right now, though, Paul. Are you insinuating that I'm not taking Forspoken to town? It got downgrades? Sure it did. Sure it did. That's not surprising. That's not surprising at all. Hang on. Forspoken reveal trailer comparison in PS5 modes tested. A massive downgrade is coming. A massive downgrade is coming. Yeah, you can see it in the lighting and the shading. Yeah. You can. So there's already people calling it out. There's already people calling it out and showcasing it. Yo, East Coast Overlord with a $5 super chat tip. I came back in here and we're at 30 FPS again. Unacceptable. Yeah, 30 FPS. I forgot I put that on my thumbnail. Yeah, you got to have a killer system to get 30 FPS out of this game. It's a freaking joke. Dad not good with 10 gifted members. That is so kind. Dad not good. You've gifted a couple of months now in a row. 10 gifted members. Bulls for Life, Kinsley Jacques, Big Z, Please Enter a Name, Chase Irons, Slave to the System. These are names that are here all the time, man. Thank you so much. Aqua113, Just Take a Chance, TC Gamer. You guys all got gifted members. Make sure you get into the Discord so you don't miss out on the members-only content. Razor hitting a 3-month milestone. Positive vibes to you all. Thank you so much for that renewal, Razor. That puts us at 11 members away from another gifted 5 from me. If you guys are trying to accept a gifted, click on that thing in chat. Oh, yeah, I got it. Thank you, Wheezy. I got it. Yeah, big surprise, Wheezy. We kicked all 3 of that guy's alts out, and then that account rolls in minutes later. Man, oh man, I can smell the stink on this guy. Like, it's just so easy. It's just so easy. You know what I'm saying? We got rid of all of his alts. That was his last alt. Seriously. Yeah, we got rid of his last alt, and then that guy comes in and starts spewing that nonsense. Holy moly, make it obvious. Goodness gracious. More predictable than a child. I'm not buying it like Gotham Knights. Oh, Bulls for Life with the $2 tip through Super Chat says, I was responding to someone about Stadia, my bad. No, you're good, homie. You're good. I was just making sure that, I wanted to make sure, I've had people accuse me of that. They're like, dude, quit hating on the Series S. And I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hate on the Series S. I know people bought it because it was cheaper. It was easier to afford it. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, man. Times are tough. It makes sense that people went with a more economical choice, bro. I'm not trying to spin hate in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to vote with my money, says Pooger. On PS5, I will not purchase any game that runs lower than 60 FPS. We cannot allow these companies to rake in our money and not demand more. I'm with you, Pooger. After Gotham Knights, after that debacle, I think we can continue to count on people being like, no, if you're not 30 FPS, get the frick out. Not buying and not playing you. I'm here to do that, by the way. I will continue to do that. with my platform. I will hold games to 60 FPS as a minimum expectation this generation. And if I don't get it, you get shredded and thrown over my shoulder. Right into the wood chipper you go. Don't buy it. Don't recommend. Keep doing that. Do that with your Twitter feeds. Do that with forum posts. Be respectful. Don't be unkind. But if games launch and can't hit 60 FPS, throw them in the wood chipper and let the next game come out. Like, seriously. Don't support and buy games like that. Take them to the woodshed and then move on to the next game. And companies will start to realize, like, maybe we should prioritize 60 FPS instead of all this fancy crap that murders optimization and performance. That's not what's selling games anymore. You're going off of an old playbook if you're trying to win me over with resolution numbers and pretty twinkling lights. I want my game to run well. If your game runs like dog water, I don't care if it's pretty. I don't care if it's pretty. Throw those games in the wood chipper where they belong. You hear about the pointless drama? Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. I don't even reason to entertain that subject with a bunch of anti-intellectuals. It's not worth it. I don't see the issue between demo and release. Just have fun on 30 FPS. Hilly. Hilly. Oh my gosh. I agree. Like Doc says, if it's not 60 FPS, it's not next gen. We just need to get that trending more and more every time this comes up. 30 FPS is not next gen. More and more. More and more. Like, nope. It's not next gen. Nope. 4K 30? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. If you don't have 60 FPS as an option, your game's not next gen. Your game is old gen, and I don't want to play it. It's that simple. And I hope more and more people say that. Don't come into the market and tell the consumer that you're going to give them 120 FPS and then give them a fourth of that. Don't do it. You don't tell me that I got overhyped or that I'm entitled or my expectations are too high. You walked into the marketplace and you marketed your consoles and you told me 120 FPS was possible. And if you give me 1/4 of that, you deserve to be criticized and taken to the wood chipper. You do. You walked into the public and said that. I didn't say that. I didn't come up with those marketing plans. I didn't test the hardware and the specs on these systems. You did. Imagine selling a car like that. Yeah, our new car, miles, 45 miles to the gallon, and then it gets like 20. You people would be able to sue. It'd be class action. Like, what? What? This is what you promised us. Get out of here. In what industry can you do that? Imagine doing that in any other industry. Promising performance up here and then delivering a fourth of that. A fourth of that. You can't even do that with internet, by the way. It's a federal law that you have to give an average of 80% of the internet speed that you promote and offer. Imagine if we got that on video games. Imagine. Hey, you promised us 120 FPS. That's the threshold we expected. We're supposed to accept a fourth of that? In what universe is that a fair deal? In what universe does that make me spoiled and entitled to expect half of what you offered me? Yeah, man, 50 miles to the gallon in this vehicle. I'll take 25. You're entitled. What? I'm working on a class action against a car maker currently. I can't believe they shipped this stuff in the condition they shipped it. Really? Take that class action. Zubair will be your lawyer. See, the challenge here, and this is where the division happens, and this is where Zubair would probably say, there's some kind of a division of liability, right? Sony says, hey, we made a system capable of this, and the devs are failing to deliver. No, yeah, Havoc, I know. 144030. That was included in my show open. That's exactly right. That's why my thumbnail says 30 FPS on it. You expect me to have 24 gig of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce 3070 or better, so that I can play your game at 144030 on a PC. Are you literally joking right now? Are you telling a joke? Let me talk to the guys that are like, you just expect too much from consoles. Yeah? That's a PC. That's a PC. That's a PC with 24 gig of RAM and a 3070 GeForce. And I'm getting 1440-30. But I'm spoiled and entitled and I expect too much from consoles. Really? What are you smoking? It's got to be amazing. Whatever you're smoking makes you see the world in 30 FPS, I guess. A 2-year-old card? Yeah, but it's a 3070 is still a strong card, though, Butters. Are you agreeing with me? Like, what do you I don't understand what you're saying. A 3070 with and 24 gig of RAM. To get 30 FPS? That's horrible optimization. That's terrible. There, I made a good joke. 100%, I'm saying it's only 2 years old. Oh, you're on my side. You're saying it's only 2 years old. This is ridiculous. It's 2 years old, and you're only going to get 30 FPS out of it? Get out of here. Get all the way out of here. There's not a PC player in existence that's going to be happy with 30 FPS on that game. PC gamers want max frames 100% of the time. That's exactly right, Nova Hands. You can debate with me about consoles and their console power. I mean, we saw people just sucking down copium like they were starving whenever Gotham Knights was going to be at 30 FPS. And they're like, well, these consoles are just not as strong as we thought. And then like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West and Forza Horizon 5 are all sitting in the corner chuckling at your stupidity. What do you mean we pulled it off? What's the matter with your game? The 4080 came out 3 effing months ago, says Wheezy. They have it spec'd for a card that came out 3 months ago. Think about that. Forspoken is spec'd for a 4080. A 4080 came out 3 months ago. Make sense of that for me. Seriously, make sense of that for me. Like, what on earth does that even mean? That's insanity. That's insanity. How does that even happen? How do you spec a game for a card that came out 3 months ago? When were you were building this game starting in like 2016? How does that even happen? How does that level of scope creep happen on your project? Who the frick built this game? Who built this game? Are they time travelers? A card that goes for over $1,000. Mother effers built this game in the future. We made the same. We're brothers. We truly are. We are. At some level, somewhere in the universe, Wheezy, we are related somehow. Made the same stupid joke. They freaking time traveled, bro. They literally time traveled. Crap ain't right, dog. That ain't right. That is not right. Oh my gosh. Do you think Microsoft is forcing Bethesda to get a 60 FPS mode? I don't know, Dave. Somebody speculated that about Starfield. They're like, maybe Microsoft said, no way, bro. No way, bro. We need 60 FPS. What are you talking about? Ain't no effing way Square Enix is a real company. Ain't no way. That's why they had to delay the game. They traveled too far back in time, says Zubair. Oh, that's good. That's good. They did the thing the girl did and went to a different realm. Yeah. It's a Japanese word where you get yanked into another world. Colt speculated. I'm not talking about him or his content. No, we're not doing that here. Book it. Tomorrow's show. Forspoken. Is it real? Isekai. Thank you. Yeah. Maybe the developers experienced an isekai storyline and they got yanked out of their timeline into another timeline. That's funny. Isekai, I give up. I believe it's isekai with an S. Although we might be just... Are you guys just spelling the phonetics? Kaganeko, good to see you. If they built their own time machine, I got to imagine it was buggy and uninspired. That's so good. That's so good. That's perfect, Zubair. If you guys are just tuning in, Forspoken Performance Concerns, you're going to get 30 FPS in this game if you're playing it on a pretty strong PC. Let alone, I don't know what in the heck we're going to get on PS5. The only thing that gives me a little bit of hope is that, you know, Digital Foundry said, you know, it mostly runs at 60 on PS5 performance mode. East Coast Overlord with a $5 tip through Super Chat. I cannot believe with my eyes I just read 144030. This is not real. Yeah, 144030. Thank you for the $5 Super Chat tip. Thank you, everybody who became a brand new member today or added to this. Could I get 11 people right now to click join? I'm genuinely curious if we could start to do this. Just start asking folks, hey, if you're not a member, try out my membership for 1 month. Don't gift. I don't want anybody to gift right now. Don't do it. I want this 11 member countdown. We only need 11 people to do it. I want it to be individuals, like individuals, one at a time. No members. We're having a break from members right now. From gifted, that is. Did they even need a time machine, or have they just dropped so many frames that they have reverted their time stream? That's what it is. That's what it is. They dropped so many frames, they actually figured out how to time travel. Gift yourself a membership. That's right. Wait, I'm a member now? Yeah, somebody already gifted to you, so if you want to pay it forward, you could gift to somebody else. What rig did Digital Foundry test would they get 60 some of the time? No, Hilly, they tested the PlayStation 5 demo on PS5. Okay, Wheezy already told you. Yeah. Yeah, they tested on PS5. And they said that the worst drops, Hilly, on performance mode. So keep in mind, performance mode is supposed to target 60 FPS. They said some of the worst drops were down into the 40s. During traversal and during combat. What resolution? I forget what they said. It was dynamic, so it fluctuated. Probably fluctuated like hell. Oh my gosh, it was probably terrible. What's going on with 30 FPS? That's what I'm saying. What's your purple handle? I actually stream on YouTube under Reforge Gaming. So you're telling me I had to pay $70 for a game that I would have spent another $1K on the graphics card to play. Yeah, it's a pretty pricey investment. For the low price of $1,070, you too can play Forspoken at the max settings. Oh, that's good. That's for the low price. For the low price, for the bargain deal price of $1,000, $1,070. Has anybody tried to update the demo? Does it run better? They pushed out some updates, and none of the updates and patch notes that they put out are targeting anything with respect to performance. There was nothing about performance in their tweets about the demo patches. Just don't buy this game. I did my show open monologue, and I said that. I said, listen, this is a wait. That was a joke at least. Time machine. No. It was somebody on TikTok. He said, okay. He's probably just looking for other places he can watch me. Maybe one day a game comes out that makes me upgrade my rig. Forspoken is not that game. Oh, for sure. No. It's obvious that the game wasn't ready. It's that simple. I believe it. I used to watch you. Yeah. We obviously had to, make some moves and some shuffles. Obviously a lot of that is, beyond our control. And we've been streaming successfully now variety gaming show coverage like this on YouTube. We're nearing 25,000 subs on YouTube. We just hit like 24. We got a thriving member base. If you want to get your badge back, your emotes back, get into my Discord, you can do all that at Reforge Gaming on YouTube. It's been a long road, But it's been a fun one. It's been a fun one. We've come a long way. We just started streaming over here on the TikTok platform. So we usually have, I don't know, between 10, sometimes 40 people watching. We just started doing it a couple of days ago, though. Maybe a week ago, I think we started regularly streaming here. Instead of boycotting a game that people don't like, right, yeah, don't buy a game that has poor performance. That's exactly right. How can a game started in dev in 2016 be so terribly optimized? Yeah, how can a game that started development in 2016 be optimized for a video card that came out 3 months ago? That's a real good question. How does that even happen? Like, if you're looking for a Forspoken review, I'll do my absolute best to do a first impressions when the game comes out. And that will be the first thing we check. Like, the first thing we check will be performance. Like, demo was rough. The Forspoken PC requirements were weird. Let's play it on PS5 day one and just see. Like, literally, you can watch me play it day one. Here's the thing with gameplay streams when I do them. You won't be able to watch on the TikTok. You'll have to watch on Reforge Gaming on YouTube. You won't be able to watch over there on the talk. So, until I get a stream key over there and can stream horizontal and do a restream service. I don't even know if I want to do a restream service because I like being able to, like, instantly start a stream on YouTube and start talking. So, I don't know. I could see us doing restream for gameplay only, you know, just so you guys get to see everything. They made the game for a system that isn't even made yet. Time travel seems more plausible. I mean, if we apply Occam's razor to this, I think that's the most plausible explanation, is that they figured out how to time travel. So, that's the real question is, can we get a formal investigation into, can we get a formal investigation into their ability to time travel? That would be I don't know. Okay, so I said nobody gift members. I said to hold off. It didn't work, so the referendum on gifteds, I'll remove it. If you guys want to gift, you can. YouTube's a strange animal. How can a game start? Oh, I already read that. Good for you, man. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that very, very much. Listen, Mark, if you're still watching on over there on the TikTok, let me know. I'll have something to say to you if you're still around. East Coast Overlord with another $5 tip through YouTube Super Chat says, still can't believe they wrote 144030. If someone walked up to me and told me that, I think they were insulting my intelligence. For that level of hardware, especially East Coast Overlord, it's not like min specs weak PC system is landing at 144030, right? Right? It's not that. I got to remove that from chat, Drexen. You're just joking, but we can't have that kind of. You can't say something like that. I think Forspoken will sell like a AAA game. There's nothing to play. PS gamers will speak with their wallets. I don't know. You think it's going to sell like a AAA game? I don't know about that. I don't give a crap that it started in 2018. What is somebody trying to say that's not a long enough time? Art, cinematic, cutscenes, QuickTime events, story. We want and choose always 30 FPS with the best possible visuals. Why would anybody pick that or say that? I'm not picking that and saying that. My bad. Sorry, guys. You're okay, Drexen. I knew you were kidding, but a machine doesn't know that. If a robot would have read your comment, it doesn't know that you're joking. Does that make sense? Like, AI can't determine whether or not you're being silly. Not just, shooters can't even, for those which can't read 2 lines, 30 is enough. No. 60 is the standard. We were promised 120. Anybody settling for 30 is delusional. Sorry. That sounds insulting, but I don't know how else to frame it. When they promise you 120 on the console and you're willing to settle for a fourth of that, I think you have a problem. I do. I think you have a problem. I think it's like some kind of a weird, like, I don't know. It's almost like people that stay in a relationship that's terrible and toxic, and you somehow justify yourself into it. It's like, no, it's fine. They promised 120, but 30's totally fine. Like, what the frick? Like, doesn't make any sense. Why are you allowing that? Why are you allowing yourself to be overpromised and underdelivered? It's nice that we can choose. We choose beautiful details 30. It's not a stupid first-person shooter. Yeah, but 30 FPS creates a muddy, blurry experience, so you can't even see all those beautiful details. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't even a well-optimized game. Like, we're not even talking about settling for 30. We're talking about a game that's going to run poorly. That's not even the same. Okay, I'll do you one better, Ivan. This game, with its RT mode, its fidelity mode, it doesn't even maintain 30 FPS. That should be frustrating to you. You basically dumb down the FPS. You lower the performance of the game so that it can be really pretty, and then it doesn't even maintain 30 FPS. That should be really disappointing to someone like you. I would imagine that should be. Leonardo said it's 26 for moving pictures. I can't. With the way that stuff gets cherry picked about that, I just can't do it. I can't engage in conversations like that. We're 26 in the human eye and blah blah blah. Okay. Just tons of cherry picked stats and confirmation bias. It's not an intellectual discussion at that point. Do you think that this is due to a slow release cycle? Like, if the only thing on the horizon that you're looking forward to is only offering 30 FPS, you can convince yourself it's okay? I think that's part of it, Valiant. If we had 10 games that we could rattle off right now that were all giving us the performance that we got in Ragnarok and Forza Horizon 5, and we're like, look at the standard. Yeah, you want to know what I think the problem is, Valiant? These are folks that don't have... I'm serious. I think these are folks that don't have a PlayStation 5. I'm serious. That's not a slam. That's not me being an elitist. I think a lot of these people don't have a PS5. If you had a PS5 and you played all the games that have come out for that have just been absolutely phenomenal from a performance perspective, nobody would be talking like... They wouldn't talk like that. They wouldn't. It's folks that are playing Game Pass games and Halo Infinite, and they're like, oh, 30's fine. I don't see what the big deal is. Sure. You're preparing to cope with Starfield's performance, and you haven't played very many games on your Series X that's blown you away because they haven't come out. Or it's people who take really long blinks. Creature says, or they have a really old TV. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that you have really old tech. Like, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but, like, come on. There's no way. I guess Lono didn't play Elden Ring? What do you mean? Elden Ring didn't run at 30. Elden Ring ran at 60. It had a few frame pacing issues and hitches that mostly got patched. Ran fine. It ran fine. It didn't run at 30. Halo runs at 30? It doesn't, but I think because Halo's a slower paced game, Robert, you know what I'm saying? Halo's a slower paced game, so I think people that typically play a game like that and haven't experienced a bunch of 60 FPS games, they don't mind 30 FPS. Maybe their television's older. Maybe they sit really far away from their TV. I don't know. I'm telling you, there is literally no way anybody who owns a PS5 and has played any of the games that's come out for it and have tasted and seen the beauty of actual next-gen gaming experiences, they wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, no, 30 FPS is fine. Your expectations are too high. No, they wouldn't say that. On 550 USD hardware, we can't expect all, so which we have excellent eyesight. We choose max details 30 on my 3000 USD PC. Okay, but here's the problem with what you're saying, Ivan. They promised us that for $500, that $500 hardware could get me 120 frames per second. So they promised way more than 30. Are you suggesting that the PS5 version is 30 FPS when the demo is already 60? No. No. I didn't suggest that anywhere. What are you talking about, Corey? My thumbnail has 30 FPS on it because the Forspoken PC requirements are bonkers high for 1440 30 FPS. That's their recommended hardware configuration. Like 24 gig of RAM and a 3070 card. What? That's why 30 FPS is on the thumbnail. It's basically another 30 FPS game. Sure, you can play the performance mode in the demo, but the performance mode in the demo averaged like 40 frames per second. So you averaged 10 above 30. Ooh. Like, wow. Who cares it was made for the PS5? What do you mean, who cares? I don't understand. Who cares that a game that was built for the PS5, a system that consistently runs game at 60 FPS, a system that marketed itself being able to hit 120 FPS, there's even a couple of 120 FPS modes available right now in games like Modern Warfare 2. Who cares that the game struggles to hit 60? Who cares that the game's averaging 40 on performance mode? Why would I not care about that? I should care about that. That's below the standard that I was promised. That's below the standard that I expected when I bought the system. That's below the standard of the other games I play on the PS5. What do you mean, who cares? It runs at 60? No, it doesn't. Check the Digital Foundry testing of the demo. It doesn't. The performance mode dips into the 40s. It averages like a 900 resolution, and it doesn't maintain 60 FPS. It averages like 40s and 50s. It can't even maintain 30 when you pick the 30 FPS mode. It dips below 30. It's a poorly optimized game. So in essence, you're lying, telling us about a crazy thumbnail now? No, I'm not lying. What are you talking about? The entire show open monologue was about the PC requirements. The PC requirements are targeting 30 FPS. Do you need me to reread that to you? Or are you having a hard time? The PC requirements, unless you have a video card that came out like 3 months ago, you're going to get 30 FPS in this game. So my thumbnail's accurate. This is basically a 30 FPS game. Sure, there's a performance mode on PS5 that doesn't even maintain 60, and they likely have to turn off a junk ton of stuff to even do that. What are you talking about? Then don't buy it. Demo is mid anyways. Oh, are you? I know I'm new to streaming on the TikTok platform. Okay, I'm hanging out with 350 people over on YouTube as well, and the purpose of this stream was to tell people, yes, don't buy it. Wait to buy it. I'm trying to help consumers make an educated decision about a game that's around the corner. That's what we're doing. I don't understand. Yo, what's good, God? It's just tuned in. Quick recap. The quick recap is that Forspoken Performance is going to hang out in 30 FPS for most people. For most people, they're going to play this game at 30 FPS. You play on a PC, you're going to be playing at 30 FPS. That's super disingenuous. Digital Foundry said that the game is average in the upper 50s to 60s, has spikes to the low 40s. That's not an average of 40. I get that it's not stable. Okay, so I might have misspoke about PS5. Forget that. That's not what the springboard of today's show is about. Today's show is about the PC requirements, showing that this is basically a 30 FPS game. Unless you have a video card that came out 3 months ago, you're going to be playing this game at 30 FPS. Like, the Digital Foundry demo test, from what we heard, was an average of like 900 resolution. 900, and it can't even maintain 60. So I got it wrong. It averaged 50 frames per second instead of 40. Are you freaking kidding me? So I'm going to average 900 on the resolution on my PS5, and you can't even maintain 60? I'm not being disingenuous. That's a joke. That's a joke. He misspeaks about a lot of things. What else did I misspeak on? Are you keeping track? Yeah, it was 900 resolution upscale, but it's still pretty crap. Right. That's my point. That's my point. What are you talking about? Like, if you're going to give me a performance mode that dips, maybe it dips to 56, maybe it dips to 55. Okay. Again, who cares about PC players? Let me help you out. If you're just going to keep saying, again, who cares, take your own advice. Who cares? No one cares what you think. You can't talk now. I'm trying to have a conversation, and the constant who cares, like find a stream that deals in who cares. And that's what they do. They boot up and say, this game's going to have bad performance. Who cares? And then they shut the stream down. 900 upscale, 50 FPS. How is that okay? It dips to 37. Yeah, the performance mode dips as low as 37 frames per second. I'm being disingenuous, though. Sure. Yeah. What's this game cost? It's a $70 game, isn't it? $70 game. 900p isn't the displayed resolution. It's the internal resolution upscaled. Right, but Wheezy, if that's what they're doing and they still can't give me 60, like, that's what on earth? That's not, yeah, exactly. That's not excusable. Like, so you're either going to play this game at 30 on the PS5. It can't even maintain 30. Literally 90% of the people that play this on PC are going to be playing it at 30 FPS. But I can select performance mode, get 900p upscale, and average 50 FPS. Get the frick out. That's a joke, bro. You can't defend that. You can't tell me I'm being disingenuous. Are you kidding me? What are we even talking about? A 2-year PlayStation 5 exclusive that I'm fairly certain is a $70 game. That's the performance we're going to get. And because I said it averaged 40 instead of saying it averaged 50 FPS, I'm being disingenuous. 30 to 50 FPS? Who cares? Thanks for attending my TED Talk. Shuts down stream. That's what I'm saying. Where's the guy that said I misspeak a lot? Did he give any examples? I'm messing with him. Nice backpedal. Nice backpedal. You know, my least favorite type of people are cowards. Cowards and liars. Two of my least favorite type of people. He misspeaks a lot. That's a lie. I'm just messing with him. Coward. Like you're hitting both notches. You're checking both boxes. Jesse with a $5 tip. Imagine telling players they need to spend $10 more for games, calling it quality, and then tax, and then releasing 30 FPS. That's what I'm saying. It's the frame rate TBH. Oh, it's the frame timing TBH. That's what makes the game feel like crap. Yeah, here. I'm being disingenuous though, chat. I'm being disingenuous. Hang on, let me get an image for you. Hang on. Let me go full screen for you. That's frame timing during Digital Foundry's testing. That's the frame timing. Look at that. Look at that. Performance is not the ultimate value of artwork. Nobody's arguing that it is. Beautiful visuals and a smart, long, healthy story from Amy Hennig. When time passes, we will respect beauty and story always on cheap hardware. 30. I don't know who you are or why you talk like that, but I'm just going to be straight up. You're weird, and you don't represent the gaming community. We are not going to look back and say that we don't really care about performance. We bought all these consoles on the promise of better performance, but we've somehow no longer cared about that, and we only care about beauty. Listen, man, I don't know what timeline, what wavelength you're on. I don't know how much CBD you snorted today, but that's not true. That's not frickin' true. No one is going to come to that conclusion because nobody's coming to that conclusion now. Look at the headlines. Look at the articles. Like, nobody's going to come to that conclusion. None. I see your DM, creature. Quality is not current. FPS, beautiful scenes, characters, menus, animations. No. Disingenuous means not candid or sincere, typically by pretending that one knows less about something than one really does. Yeah, that's not even the right use of the word. Wait, can't disingenuous mean something else, though, Hilly? There's a range of meaning there, isn't there? Nobody bought a PS5 because of the way it looks. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody bought a PS5 because they wanted to see pretty games. We were all promised better performance. Faster load times, higher resolution, better frames per second. To be honest, it's the hardcore that care about it. No, No. That's not true. That is not true. The move to get 60 frames per second in Fortnite on old gen consoles, I'm telling you, a rising tide lifts all boats, and the expectations of more gamers is now higher. It's been raised. It has been. Promise. I promise you it has. Fortnite's too popular to not have impacted the market of expectations. Too popular. Long live all the best. Nice that we can choose. Please don't forget that. Ivan, listen. No disrespect. You're a little weird. You love what you love. I don't care. If that's what you love, good for you. But your predictions about what people are going to like, or that we don't prize these things or we shouldn't prize these things, I reject a lot of those imperatives and notions. I do. I don't accept them. People still letting on like she had a big part in the game. Oh, let me clarify something that you intimated. Amy Hennig had virtually nothing to do with this game, by the way. Anybody that's expecting like a really amazing story in Forspoken because of Amy Hennig's involvement, she literally made sure to give herself narrative armor. She tweeted, "I had the pleasure of contributing to Forspoken as a creative consultant in 2019 before I joined Skydance." Do you know what she's doing right there? She's creating distance. She's like, yeah, I consulted with them 4 years ago. Yeah? That's what I'm saying. Like, she's like, no, I wasn't really involved, bro. You're not being true. I remember asking you a long time ago, what would be the best looking games? You said God of War and Horizon. You asked me what would be the best looking games, and I said God of War and Horizon. How am I not being true? What was the context of you asking me that question? Please stop with the insults, please. Saying somebody's weird is not an insult. He's being a little weird. He's talking weird. Have you heard any of the things I've read him say? It's weird. It's a bit of a language barrier, maybe. But, come on. He's being a little weird. If you think that's an insult, then you're too soft for the internet. Why are you on YouTube? Like, if that's an insult to you, then you need to hang out in a preschool with soft walls and blocks that are all, primary colors. I'm at the point where I think oh my gosh, okay, bye. Best looking next generation. That was your answer. Didn't even include Unreal 5 games. Yeah, I've already banned you. Lono, relax. You're being too gangsta. Woosah. I'm not being gangsta. Saying somebody's a little weird, that's gangsta? Wu-Tang. Like when keeping it real goes wrong. All I said was he's a little weird. He's just being a little weird. Like, he's saying weird stuff. That beauty is gonna matter more in the future and stuff. Like, he's talking weird. Like you said, it was like he was on I felt like he was a little high. He hit a little of the green. He hit a little of the sticky icky, and then came into my stream and was like, bro, we're not gonna care about this stuff in the future. All's gonna matter is beauty, frames per second, bro. 30 FPS. Beautiful game. That's a little weird. You're being weird, bro. Like, Matthew McConaughey, if you're hanging out in my stream, bro, love your movies, but enough's enough, okay? I want 60 FPS. I want 60 FPS, bro. That's what I want. I'm allowed to want that, bro. Can't respect the beauty of a game if it doesn't run right. Thank you, Arthur. Arthur Loves Metal. Great name. Thoughts on the day before, showing full gameplay? I have a video about that on Reforge Gaming on my YouTube channel. If you want to watch it, Doc Psycho, you can come over to Reforge Gaming on YouTube. I talked about the day before twice now and why I think it is a fake. It's a fake game. It's a total fake game. They're scamming folks, man. That game's going to disappear into thin air, right? And you're a coward, bro. Every time you can't debate me, you ban me. You're an effing loser and a bully. Huh. I just allowed that. I just wanted that to come into chat so that people could see it. I ban people. I can't debate people, chat. You know me. You know me. Someone starts debating me, and that's the first thing I do is I ban them. Oh. I can't wait to see your tweets, your malding tweets. I can't wait. Bro, 30 FPS? Shee, I thought 1 FPS was the golden number. I killed the joke. Yeah, you did. It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate how he starred out his own swear words. Do you want to know why he did that, Valiant? He was hoping to get through the filter. He's not worth it. Am I not worth it, Peppermint? Or are you talking about the person that we just banned over on YouTube? We're having fun. Come on, we have to have fun a little bit with the trolls. You know, get your entertainment worth out of them. You know. You keep banning me, so you're a ban evader. Got it. That's right. Sorry, we can choose, and if we game, it's good to play it 5 years again and again. Oh, the guy on YouTube. Okay. Here's the thing, Ivan. Here's the thing. You and me might agree on this. This would be a good note. This would be a good note to end our Ivan and I's conversation can end on this. As long as you let me choose, right? And I get 60 FPS, I'm good. As long as you let me choose. It's not fair to sell me a piece of hardware promising 120 frames per second, and I can't even pick half of that. That's a freaking rip-off. That's a scam. Don't sell me a piece of hardware promising 120, and then I'm just supposed to take just take 30? At least let me choose 60. Most performance modes still look beautiful? Yeah, it's not like you pick performance mode. Exactly. It's not like you pick performance mode and it suddenly looks like garbage. It's the differences are, a lot of the times the differences are minimal and hard to detect. Unless you have an incredible television. Who promised the 120? Sony? They both did, Valiant. Both Sony and Xbox talked about 120 being possible. That's crazy. 60 FPS should be the standard. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. No disagreement there at all. None. Now listen, in the realm of first-party titles, I argued today that I think first-party titles are more important. I do. This is a multi-plat title. It's a 2-year exclusive to Sony. But I think multi-platform titles are going to drive the importance of first-party titles. And I've got a video for you guys. I do. We have another channel. It's primarily an upload channel, and it gets content that you don't get over here. It gets quick breakdowns and rundowns, sometimes of what I talk about live, but sometimes not. We got new information from Mr. Matty Plays himself. Starfield may have gotten delayed again, and I've got a video about it. I'm going to put the link in chat. Can I redirect them over there, Creature, or is the video already live? The video might already be live. Let me check. No, I can't redirect. I can't redirect you to this video. You're going to have to click the link in chat, okay? We did a talk show this morning about Hogwarts. I did an upload about S-Squad killing the Justice League and it being live service. We just talked about Forspoken, and now I got a video about Starfield's getting delayed again, according to Matty Plays, right? He's got a reliable source. So if you're over here on the TikTok, you need to go to YouTube and look for Reforge Rundown. That's my upload channel that this video is going to go live on. I'm streaming on Reforge Gaming, all right? So click the link in chat, guys. End the day with the video. Leave a like and a comment on my Starfield getting delayed video. If you can hear me right now, I'm going to spam the chat with the link. Click that link. Support that video. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the members. Thanks for a crazy great second talk show. And we'll see you tomorrow, all right? Right now, there's a link in chat you need to click. Go check out. It's a very quick video. It's a quick video about Starfield getting delayed again. Make sure you're subbed over there on that other channel. It's our bigger channel. We're bringing it back as an upload channel. Help us get it to 50,000 subscribers. This channel's about to hit 25,000. All right? I'll see you guys over there in the comments, and I'll see you here tomorrow for more great talk shows. Thanks for all the support.